Welcome to the Big Finish News. Today's top story, we finally have some Second Doctor news. We've been waiting a while on this one, wondering what this fabled July release will be for the range. And we finally have cover, details, trailers, all that good stuff. It's Conspiracy of Raven, with this wonderful cover art by Christopher Naylor, hand-drawn, just the same as his First Doctor Adventures covers. And this features 3 two-part stories: Kippers by Nicholas Briggs, Catastrophe Theory by Mark Wright, and then The Vanishing Point by both Mark Wright and Nicholas Briggs. So, both the script editor and producer of the range, this very much feels like their baby, I suppose, this box set. All focusing on the machinations of Emma Noakes' character, Raven, this Time Lord CIA supervisor, who has been a thorn in the Doctor's side for the last few box sets. The last one ending on a bit of a cliffhanger involving her. We'll see how things shake out in this set, which sees the return of Wendy Padbury as Zoe. Or does it? The second story synopsis hints that something might be going a bit amiss there. Jamie is, of course, back as well, played by Fraser Hines, where, he's lived a life since having his memory erased by the Time Lords, but he's come back to help the Doctor once again for this run of adventures. All exciting stuff, and coming to our ears July 9th.
Susan enters the Time War again for round 2 and 3. From being one of the top selling releases in 2020, we have the first release being in April. Susan's War continues with family ties with the Lost Son and the Golden Child. Script editor Matt Fitton added, "This is a different angle on the Time War. It's much more about diplomacy and espionage. Susan's not a soldier. She uses her brain and empathy with forging alliances with other species for Time Lords. And I like to keep an aspect of the 1960s present, so we touch on characters, situations, and alien races that hark back to a time when Susan was travelling with the Doctor. Grandfather Time, we don't know when that one is out, but it contains Last of the Carlids and the Vord Alliance. So this is going to be a bit more, I guess, more of a fan pleasing set. But like I say, we don't know when that one's going to be out. But Susan's War continues in Family Ties, out in August.
Another Time War release on the horizon is the War Master Future Phantoms, of course starring Derek Jacobi. This is now the 11th box set he has done. Scott Hancock himself has said that back when they did the first box set, they thought it would be a one-off. They never expected Derek Jacobi to carry on and encounter Daleks, Ood, meet old companions like Joe and Nissa, confront the 8th and 10th Doctors, Billis Manja, return of Professor Yana. It's all been going on over these last 10 box sets, and this 11th one sees Scott Hancock depart the range. He's gone on to bigger and better things now, script editing, Doctor Who, on TV, of course, under Russell T Davies. But he's given us this final box set to see it out on before handing the reins over to Robert Valentine with whatever is to come next. This box set is set at St. Simeon's College, where there are whispers of a door that somehow appears once a year in the depths of the building, where within, a long-forgotten master of the college sits and waits to tell stories of blood and terror. It is a 4-disc box set, of course, featuring his Close Companions by Jonathan Barnes, The Foxglove Cylinders by James Goss, The Sitter by Lizzie Hopley, and Signal and I'll Come to You by Tim Foley. This is very M.R. James inspired, this box set, and it features Robert Glinster, Annette Badland, and Lorne McFadden as well. This will be coming to us in November.
I'm a Doctor, but probably not the one you're expecting. You can relive Series 2 of the 8th Doctor and Lucy Miller's adventures in a collected download. But what is in Series 2, you may ask? Well, it contained Dead London by Pat Mills, who wrote such famous comics like The Star Beast, Max Warp by Jonathan Morris, Brave New Town by Jonathan Clements, Soul of Sobek by Mark Platt, Grand Theft Cosmos by Eddie Robson, The Zygon Who Fell to Earth by Paul Mars, and then continuing sort of, I guess, to time with Morbius, with Dark Gallifrey, we have Sisters of the Flame by Nicholas Briggs and The Vengeance of Morbius by Nicholas Briggs. So you can get this as one big download, which probably the time you're watching this video will be priced at £20, $29.99. So yeah, get the collected series 2 of Lucy Miller's Adventures. I guess they'll do it for the other 2 series. And yeah, what a fun series it is to check out, and one I'm particularly fond of because that's when I first started listening to Big Finish with The Zygon Who Fell to Earth.
New writers Malcolm Devlin and Helen Marshall take the reins in September's Torchwood monthly range release, which has got a cover revealed. It is the Hollow Choir, and this sees Kai Owen as Reese heading down into some caves to help some students who have somehow found their way in and have gotten a little bit lost, but Reese somehow has a map with him. This seems like a very interesting story, and I just love this cover. It is a wonderful image there with Reese decked out in all the kit and the skull in the rock face. Gorgeous stuff from Sean Longmore here.
The Third Doctor and Old Joe face an old enemy. We have October's release of the Third Doctor Adventures, which is an older Joe release continuing from the return of Joe Jones, and is the Quintessence, where we have the Third Doctor facing the Cybermen. Again, quite cool that we're getting another Third Doctor Cyberman story. We've had it with the Bluetooth, Tyrant of Logic, Scourge of the Cybermen, and now Old Joe is going to, I guess, relive some old demons, as it were. So this is by Stuart Pringle and Lauren Mooney. They have written a terrifying gothic script that goes from a Victorian house on an alien wasteland to the depths of Mondas. The Doctor and Joe come across the Pepperdine family, who are hiding quite a few secrets, but even they don't know the true extent of danger that they're in. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, as we seem to, in the synopsis, have a sort of an ailing daughter, and obviously Joe's gonna have that nice sort of maternal feel to her, and obviously Cybermen being in there, you can see that there could be a clash between the Third Doctor and Joe within that, so that'd be great to sort of test that dynamic. So that is coming out in October, the Quintessence.
I would ask you which of these releases excites you the most, but I'm pretty sure I already know the answer there.
Am I that obvious?
I mean, it's probably the one that excites me the most too.
It's got such a great cover as well, isn't it? Clever cover.
Again, Sean Longmore. What else do you expect?
It's rather marvelous.
Yeah, I love how it's going for something very different from the usual though. Like, even though the Cybermen are fairly clearly part of the story, they're not quite shown there. Instead, it's shown from the point of view of the Cybermen. You got the hand there,
and you got
so you can tell it's
Mondasian.
Well. Yeah, a little tribute to World Enough and Time, and the Doctor falls there. Which this is sort of giving me a new series vibe as well,
which is good because I think this is what the older Joe stuff needed a direction. Because is it trying to be recreating an era with the Third Doctor and Joe being in the 70s, or is it the Third Doctor coming into our modern world? So I feel like this is definitely saying no, this is a Third Doctor coming into a more new series style, but this is, you know, a 6-parter.
Which, I mean, it's something the Range has been doing for a long while now, these longer form stories, and I'm glad that we're going for this over the 3 2-parters that we got with the return of Joe Jones. It excites me so much more. Yeah, I just really like the look of it.
Yeah, it's a good cover, and yeah, I think October, Mondasian Cybermen fit that sort of Halloween feel. So yeah, I think this is going to be a perfect sort of autumn night listen, I feel.
Yeah. Same for War Master Future Phantoms, autumn going on winter, you know, nights drawing in, tucked up inside in the warm, listening to ghost stories recounted by Derek Jacobi. It seems pretty perfect for that. I mean, the box set itself seems a bit of a sense of Emperor's New Clothes to me, where it's got this different vibe to it, one that very much suits the War Master style, but nevertheless, I can very much see these going in the usual format that we're sort of getting a bit tired of at this point of seemingly nice old man turns out to be evil shock horror. It's done wonders for the range, but we're so numb to it now, I suppose.
Yeah, you kind of expect it.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully this does do something different with that, nevertheless. And yeah, I love the premise. I love the vibe, the cover. Sean Longmore once again. It's gorgeous stuff. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, I suppose. We've been here before with War Master.
Yes.
It's only... It used to be so good. But yeah, I feel like that high standard meant that we were more critical of recent release. But it does feel like we're getting slightly tired of the format and it's going in a downward direction. But we'll see if this one bucks the trend. And if not, we've got Robert Valentine to look forward to taking over for the next one.
Much like you with the War Master, I'm cautiously excited for the second Doctor. Because we're kind of the people who are kind of like, it's good, but I don't get the hype for it. And I feel like now we're getting into sort of the nitty-gritty of the arc by the looks of it, with Mark Wright and Nicholas Briggs writing this box set. It makes me excited that we might be pushing this a little bit forward with how long this is going to go on for and what the actual story they're trying to say with it. But the thing with the Zoe aspect, are we doing another spoilers for like a 12-year-old trilogy? Are we doing like a sort of a Land of Fiction thing with Zoe? Are we just
Legend
sort of
of the Cybermen?
Yeah, are we just sort of treading that same ground now we've got the second Doctor, And I feel like that's a thing what current Big Finish are doing, but we've probably had it with the Companion Chronicles now, and now we've got the recast. They're doing it as a full cast release now, which I'm cautiously excited for it, really. But it's great to finally get details for it after so long, because it was becoming a meme.
Yeah, it very much was. I think Big Finish were even getting in on the act there at certain points. Or, Big Finish Inside at a Twitter account, they love to have a little tease and play it out with the fans. But no, we finally know what's going on with that box set now. All at once as well, one mega drop of pretty much all the details. And yeah, even though it's 3 two-parters, I feel like because, as we say, it's all written by producer and script editor duo, they'll probably lead into each other quite nicely. It seems like as it gets more arc-heavy, we probably will get a not quite 6-parter here, but certainly it will all tie in together and form a bit of a trilogy, this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also nice to see Jonathan Carley popping up here, there, and everywhere at the moment as he comes into
year, isn't it?
Susan's War. Yeah, I think it's very much deserved because he does such a strong performance as the young War Doctor, to the point now that I feel like the younger face, his voice, is what my first go-to for when I think of the War Doctor now.
Yeah.
Like, when you're imagining each different Doctor in a lineup, I probably would lean more towards the younger face of the War Doctor now, funnily enough. But yeah, it's nice to see him and Susan interacting, I suppose, on her terms, since it's her box sets now. It's also interesting that we're going down to 2-disc box sets, but it's still a box set because, it's 2 stories in one. We're still pushing, I suppose, the definition of what is a box set, especially when with so many long-form stories like the Quintessence, where it's a 6-parter. Is that really a box set, or is that an individual release because it's just one story? It makes you wonder. But ultimately, the box set's just a label at the end of the day. It's a release. It's 2 stories. I do wonder if we'll see more like this in future.
I imagine so.
Yeah, I think there's certainly a discussion to be had there, and I think there can be some benefits to it. I mean, we know for David Bradley, with his Unbound stuff that's coming up September next year, it will be 2 discs in the same style. So yeah, I think certainly we're going to be seeing more 1 disc and 2 disc sets again as the years go on. I mean, anything else that's particularly exciting you at the moment? Any final words to say before we wrap this up?
Bring on the Quintessence.
Yeah, that's it, really, isn't it? Roll on
Yeah.
October. We're wishing the year away at this point.
But it's fine because our ears will be blessed with, new Third Doctor content, which,
I mean,
praise to the writers
thankfully,
for it.
we've got Death World in the meantime to tide us over.
We do.
Yeah. July is upon us. But until the next time, let us know what release news article excites you the most. What are you looking forward to that's coming up? Please do tell us. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.